Dear students, in this session we are going to see about CSMA CD. So in the last video we have seen how the carrier sends multiple access works. But CSMA does not specify the procedure for detecting a collision. It just gives a procedure to sense the channel and makes a station to transmit or wait till the medium becomes free. If it is following non-persistence, even though the medium is sensed to be idle or free, it waits for random amount of time, then it starts its transmission to further reduce the pollution. But CSMA does not specify any specific mechanism or procedure for detecting the collision. And the extended version of CSMA is CSMA CD with collision detection. So let's see. So here we are having four stations A, B, C and D. Station A starts its transmission at time T1 and the first bit of A reaching the other stations, reaching the vicinity of other stations like B, C and D will take some substantial amount of time due to propagation. In this case, A sensed the channel to be idle, then it started its transmission. When A is transmitting the data, here you can have a look. So here at time T1, A starts the transmission, but immediately it won't be sensed by B, C and D. In the meantime, B, C also sensed the station to be free. Then it starts its transmission at time T3, sorry, T2. Then you can see collision occurs here between the frames sent by station A and station C. But this collision is detected by station C at time T3. According to CSMA CD principle, whenever a collision is detected by the station, immediately it have to stop its transmission. So time T3, C will be stop transmitting the data. But this collision detection will be detected by station A at time T4 because it will be taking some time because of distance. At time T4, station A detects a collision and stops its transmission. So here there is a small formula. A is transmitting its data between the time T4 minus T1. T4 is the time at which A detected the collision and T1 is the time during which it started transmitting the data. So the difference of this time T4 minus T1 is the transmission time. A is transmitting the data and the C's transmission time is T3 minus T2, that is collision detection time is T3, and when it started transmission the data is T2. Obviously these times are wasted. The reason is at the end both the frames got collided with each other and the data got lost in the medium itself. But here there is an advantage, or at least there is a scope. What it is means, here the stations are continuously listening the medium after transmitting the data. Why? Because it have to sense the collision. If a collision is sensed, if it is detected, immediately the transmission should be stopped to reduce the further loss, which is not happening in CSMA. So again the frame wise diagram. So A's frame is traveling in the medium from T1. At T2, C started its transmission. The collision occurred after T2. Then, but the collision is immediately detected at time T3 by C. But the collision is detected by A after some times, that is at time T4. So these are the sequence which we have seen earlier. Okay. But how we can make sure that collision is properly detected, and what is the relationship between frame size and the collision detection? So there is a small formula they have given. The frame size should be 2 into TP. TP is nothing but propagation time. So minimum the frame length should be equal to 2 into TP, then only collision detection is possible. The reason is, let us take the station A and we can take another station B. So A is transmitting the data, B is also starting the transmission. Somewhere here the collision occurs. With respect to time, I am drawing this. Somewhere the collision occurs at time. A's transmission time will be TP. A's transmission time will be TP. And for detecting the collision by A, again, this collision signal should be traversed back to A. So again, it will be taking another TP of time for propagation. But when the collision signal reaches, the collision will be the very big noise kind of signal. When the collision signal reaches the A, till that time A should be transmitting the frame. If A have completed its transmission, it won't sense a channel. So till the collision is detected by A, its frame should be in continuous transmission. That is why we are extending or we are setting the minimum limit for the frames. TFR equal to 2 into TP. Okay. Now we can see the sequence flow diagram for CSMA CD. As usual, a station starts sensing the channel, and here we are having a parameter k. K is nothing but number of atoms, k equal to 0. So we can apply any one of the CSMA mechanism. Either it can be one persistent, non-persistent, or p persistent mechanism. So it can be transmission done or collision detected. If transmission done, if it is yes, then it have to detect the possibility of collision. In CSMA, mere transmission alone is sufficient, but in CSMA CD, after transmitting the data or during the transmission of the data, there is a particular station how to continuously listen the medium for any possible collision. So this is what is happening here. Collision detected. If there is no collision detected, your transmission is success. While you are transmitting the data, if any collision signal is detected, again you have to send a jamming signal. Why you are sending the jamming signal? You are alerting the other station that a collision already happened, so please don't send your data. That is the purpose of sending the jamming signal. Then the k value will be updated by 1. Why? Because one attempt was over. Then here we are checking whether the k reaches the maximum threshold value, because here we have to put a number like 10, 15, 10 atoms continuously can do. Even though after 10 atoms, if you're not able to transmit the data, you have to wait. The station have to wait for some time. Then again it have to sense the channel. It have to start the procedure. For that we are having the k limit. If collision occurred, we are making the station to wait for some random amount of time. Again, the same procedure continues. Otherwise here, if any collision detected, again the same process continues. Yes, go for collision detection. The same flow continues. If there is no collision detected, transmit and receive the signal. Thank you.